Hi everyone, I'm Steve Chilcote. I'm a land specialist realtor with Basecamp Real Estate. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about financing property. Now, land is a little bit different from buying a house because banks don't generally want to finance raw land. If you're going to build a home on it, you can do a building package where you decide what you're going to build, get everything designed, get prices in place, and then you can do a package loan where you draw on that loan as you buy the land, then build your building out. So that's one way to do it. The way to buy raw land is to put a big down payment down. They usually want 20% because it's a high risk loan. They consider it high risk. Now, where does the 20% come from? Sometimes you have to just save it up. You can sell something. You can borrow it from a relative. Other than borrowing money or selling your prized possessions to get the money, you can do a couple different things. One of the things that I used to do a lot of is measure the timber and take that timber cruise. I can do that for you because I'm a forester, and we can put a value on that timber. Then when you go to the bank, you can say, this is the timber that's on it. I want to use that as the down payment. Try that. I used to do that quite a bit. They got a little bit stiffer on that around 2008. But things are starting to loosen up a little bit now. You might be able to get away with it. Another trick I used to use is to pre-sell the timber. I'd get the money for the timber and use that for my down payment, but it's really difficult to do that anymore because people were running around selling timber out from under their relatives, and so now the timber buyer usually wants to see a deed to the property and make sure that everybody who's on the deed signs off on that. Okay, and it's difficult. They want you to own it, in other words. So the other thing you could do is ask for seller participation. You can go to the seller and say, look, I'll give you your price, but I want you to put some money towards closing costs, and that helps it be a little bit more affordable for you. If he's making a huge profit on the property and the property will appraise at the price that he's asking, then he can participate in the closing. So it doesn't hurt to ask. And then the other thing you can ask the owner is if they do owner financing. You can do partial owner financing or owner finance the whole thing and just work out an amortization schedule and pay him monthly. So those are some ways of getting it done. So you have to kind of use your deal making capabilities and your negotiation tactics and try to get a deal that works for you. I usually like to go to a finance company that is specializing in rural land. Not all banks really want to get into it. Some of the entities that do that are Farm Credit up here in the Northeast, Rural Land Credit, Southern Farm Credit, and Ag America are a couple other ones that are not in the Northeast, but you can just look them up on the internet. So depending on what you want to do, you can also go to the Farm Service Agency in your county and see what they have available. If you want to start a farm, they might have some loans that they can help you with. Usually they're not the greatest loans. You have to apply, and it might take some time, but it might be worthwhile if you want to start a little farm. Now, what I was thinking about doing actually is getting into the new farmer program, which is if you have experience at the farm and you want to start a farm, you need a certain number of years of experience working on a farm to show that you're a farmer. And you can get these fantastic loans, like they're 50-year term, low interest. Makes it very affordable to get a farm started. They're mostly designed for young farmers who grew up on a farm, worked for their dad all these years, and now they want to break out on their own, start a new farm. That's generally what that's designed to help with. So there's a few tips for you. Hopefully you can find a piece of land that can have owner financing. You got to find a guy who's willing to do that. There are lots of farmers who have, if they've been on the farm for 40, 50 years, they bought that land really cheap. I worked for some farmers who bought land for a few $100s an acre back in the 70s. Now it's worth several thousand an acre, and they're making a ton of money on this. So they have a lot of room to work with you as far as helping you out with the financing. So I would start there and then try to get your timber measured. When you go to do the closing, what you would do is have a same day closing on the timber, get the money, hand it over at the settlement table as your down payment. Now, it's not, I'm making it sound easy. It's not. If you need help with any of this stuff, please give me a call. I'll put my number down below. It's Basecamp Real Estate, and we have a new brokerage in Pennsylvania. We're specializing in hunting land, small farms, and we're also getting into New York State, so especially the southern tier. If you're looking for land, give me a call and I'll help you find something. All right, it was great talking with you. Hope to hear from you soon.